Hi, this is Tom Hoskins for Mining Journal. I'm here with Tim Moody, who's the CEO of Pan Global Resources, which is a Toronto-listed base and precious metals exploration company with assets in Spain. Hi, Tim. How's it going?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Excellent. Good to have you with us. Maybe if you could start by giving some of our viewers who aren't familiar with you guys a bit of an overview of the company.
Yeah, for sure. So, Pan Global is focused on exploration in Spain, primarily in southern Spain, in an area which is called the Iberian Pyrite Belt. It's a famous mining area. It's been mined continuously for probably over 3,000 years. A number of big mines and large miners operating in the belt today. So we're focused in that area. Mainly on copper. We have one advanced discovery, and we have a bunch of other targets that we're currently testing in that area. We do have a second project area as well, which is more sort of polymetallic lead, zinc, silver.
Okay, great. Thanks, Tim. So your flagship project's copper focus, and it's called Escacena. Maybe you could talk about where you're at with that at the moment.
Yes, for sure. So our main focus of the last few years has been around a new discovery that we made called La Romana. So we've drilled about 140 holes at that target. Now you could call it a deposit. It's copper, tin, and silver. And as I say, 140 holes. It's the mineralisation comes from surface. It dips to the north. It's very continuous. It's not faulted or anything like that. It looks to be very simple mineralogy, and it's very much open, particularly to the west, and that will be a focus for this year to see how big it might be. But we're also currently on that project where we're doing some metallurgical test work. We're also doing some cost studies and modelling of the deposit in advance of a resource. In addition to that, we have about a dozen other targets, mainly derived from geophysics, which look very similar to our original discovery, La Romana. So we've just started drilling those as well. So today we have 3 drill rigs operating on three different targets, and we've got a 20,000 metre drill plan for this year.
Okay, so in terms of news flow, we're looking at mainly a lot of drill results coming through over the coming months. Is that going to be the main thing to look out for this year?
Yeah, I've sort of summarised into 5 main catalysts, main things to watch out for. I guess the first will be the access to the extensions of the La Romana deposit, both to the west and to the east. We expect to have that access sometime this year. The sooner the better. It's not a case of if, but just when. And so that's, as soon as we get that access, that will be a big news point for us. That'll be a trigger for a lot more additional drilling, particularly to the west, where we'd look to add perhaps 2 or 3 drill rigs to drill that the western extension. And if we can extend that, at least the geophysics shows that we could extend the target to, or the deposit to something like 2 kilometres of strike. So first is the access. Second would be the drill results that come from that. Third would be results from the metallurgical test work that's underway. And then the fourth would be the drilling that we've got going on the many other targets that we're now starting to test as well. And the fifth point would be results from the other ongoing exploration that we're generating new drill targets and new opportunities all the time.
Okay, great. Well, thanks for that overview, Tim. Maybe turning to the financial side of the business now, how are you set for cash? Are you going to need to go back to the market soon? What's the situation there?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. We just put out a news release just recently where we announced an $8.5 million program for about 20,000 metres of drilling. We're fully funded for the year. So, it's... That gives us a big runway for a lot of exploration this year.
Okay, so you're well set on that front. Just want to look at the longer term for a minute now. What are your plans? Are you thinking that this is something you want to develop yourself? I mean, are you experienced in building a mine, or is it something that you might look to exit if the right person came along?
Yes, well, that's a common question that we get. Look, I think what we have is a very experienced board of directors, and we have an experienced team on the ground. So we can certainly take this project all the way if we need to. But we are in let's say, a copper-hungry market. At least that's our sense that the next 10 years is going to be really, really hot for copper. So we know we've got companies interested in following what we're doing very closely. But look, we're just going to continue to grow and enhance our initial discovery. Hopefully, make another one in the near, not too distant future, and we'll see what happens. But we certainly have the depth on the board, and we've certainly been expanding in our expertise on the ground in Spain. Just to highlight that, we have 2 mining engineers on the management team in Spain, so you can see that we are developing at least the capacity early on to help take this project forward.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, building a mine in Europe, it's not necessarily the easiest. I just wondered what your kind of early sense has been in terms of permitting and, from that side of things. Is that a sort of concern, or how's that been shaping up?
Well, I think this is where we have an advantage. Yeah, we're in a mining-friendly part of Europe and a mining-friendly part of Spain. This is an area, as I said, being mined probably nearly continuously for 3,000 years. There's a lot of mining infrastructure around us. And there's good support generally from the community as well, and the administration. So the infrastructure in this area is excellent. It's almost like a brownfields environment. Lots of skilled labour, etc. But on the permitting front, there's plenty of examples where things can get permitted quite quickly in this part of Spain. So I don't see any roadblocks from that perspective.
Okay, great. Well, thank you, Tim. That's, I'm afraid, all we have time for today. But yeah, it just remains for me to thank you very much indeed for joining us.
Yeah, thanks very much. Pleasure.
No problem, and hopefully have you on here again soon. But for now, that concludes this video for Mining Journal. Goodbye.